How do you keep your customers' trust?
The hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do. I think there's some pretty basics, right? Like, obviously, you have to have integrity. To me, integrity is defined by what we do when people aren't looking. And so integrity is important. I think being transparent, right? Having digital inspections, taking videos and photos of what you're doing and what you're working on, that's important. I think communication is the key to any relationship, is communication. I also say this, and not that I want this to happen, but I think that when something doesn't go perfectly, or let's say a part fails, or let's say something happens to where the vehicle has to return, that is really the true definition of our character. And I think this is where trust is earned, is that when something doesn't go smooth, what happens when something isn't going perfectly? What happens if something doesn't go as expected? That to me is when trust is built. And that to me is when character is shown. And when something isn't going 100% correctly, or things aren't going well, it's what and how you handle those things is where trust is won and lost. And I think that in industry, particularly automotive, and I'm sure this can be applied to other things as well, but particularly with automotive, trust is the most sacred thing that you can have with our clients, because if they can fix their car, obviously they would just do it themselves. And because they, a lot of times they don't have the knowledge or the resources or the tools or the time, that's why they come to us. And so if you're gonna trust me with your property, then I need to give you a value back, if not more. And so if I can give you that, and then also show you that when things don't go so smoothly, then I'm still right by your side and I have your best interest in mind, that's where trust is won and lost. And that's why we're so fortunate enough to where we have a really high retention rate. We have a lot of return clients. Our name is pretty pronounced in our community. We're very proud about that. And the reason why we're proud about that is because we know we're doing things with integrity. And we know we are not, everything's gonna be perfect. And I'll be the first one to say that I've definitely upset a client or two here or there. But it's also one of those things that I can count how many people are upset, right? Versus I can't count how many people we've made happy. And that's why we're so fortunate enough to know that we're gonna come forth, we're gonna be honest, we're gonna be transparent, we're gonna have integrity, we're gonna give you the most transparent experience we can and give it back to our community. Those 5 values that you hear me speak a lot to, they're built into our walls, they're in our training manuals, they're in there for a reason, and that's because that's what you deserve in an auto repair shop, and we're just gonna do our best to help fill that void.